Dr. Jane Goodall. The year was 1960. In the middle of a hot tropical jungle, Jane Goodall held out a banana to a chimpanzee. She was in East Africa, in what is now Tanzania, working in a place so wild and remote that it could only be reached by boat. For months, she had been trying to learn about the chimpanzees here, but they were nervous around humans and would swing away through the trees. Not today. The chimpanzee looked at the banana, edged towards Jane, and took it from her hand. Jane's heart leaped. At last! At last! These wonderful creatures were starting to trust her. Some people are born to care for animals. When Jane was 1.5 years old, growing up in England, she gathered a big handful of wriggly worms from her garden and took them up to her bed. You might think this was an odd thing to do, and certainly Jane's mother thought so. She explained to her daughter that worms needed soil, not bedclothes, to survive. So the little girl hurriedly took them back down to the garden where they belonged. Jane was besotted with wildlife in other ways too. She liked to sit watching hedgehogs and squirrels. She wrote nature poetry. She took her black and white dog Rusty on long walks, scrambling along cliff tops and beaches. This love of the natural world kept growing as she got older, but even she would have never guessed how important her passion for animals would become. Jane was 26 when she began working in Gombe, western Tanzania, in what is today Gombe National Park. At this time, people had very little information about how chimpanzees lived. In fact, almost nothing was known about their behavior in the wild. Jane wanted to change that. Some scientists thought it was ridiculous to be sending a young woman into the jungle alone. Jane didn't agree. She was glad to make the green, sweaty tangle of the trees her office. Through months and years of patient study, Jane opened the world's eyes to how amazing and intelligent chimpanzees can be. No creature on Earth has more in common with humans, and Jane helped us to appreciate this. She saw that they used long pieces of grass to fish for insects in termite nests. She saw that mothers and babies had close, powerful bonds, just like humans do. And she saw that chimpanzees fought and sometimes even hurt each other. She also learned, thanks to her favourite chimpanzee, whom she named David Greybeard after the white hairs on his chin, that they were able to show trust and kindness, not just to each other, but to people too. It was David Greybeard who had taken that first banana from her hand. And, when he died of an illness in 1968, Jane became even more determined to do everything she could to understand and protect chimpanzees. Her work has never stopped. In 1977, she founded the Jane Goodall Institute, which researches the lives of wild chimpanzees, the welfare of captive chimpanzees, and works with local communities. It also works with young people around the world through its Roots and Shoots program. Jane also campaigns for the people who live in and around our forests, and who know them best, as well as the animals that live there. Decades after her first trip to the jungle, Jane is still inspiring us to love and value wild creatures. She spends around 300 days a year travelling the world to spread her message. There are fewer than 300,000 chimpanzees left in the wild anywhere, and Jane is determined to help this number to rise.